Billy Zureikat is in studio. Tanny said he was his first mentor in the business, a producer up the dial. He was there when I interned there, summer of 06 and 07.
I know. I can only imagine that young intern Danny Parkins had lots of unrequested thoughts.
We only had, a couple run-ins, but it's typically when I just would come in and, was going to produce the night show, and I needed the space to cut some sound and put together some opens. And I'd walk in and I'm like, okay, can I have a little respect here? Can I just have I'm getting paid $8 an hour. Can I have something here?
No, Billy. I have to do this correctly for Ben Finfer, or he's going to find out where I sleep and kill me in my sleep.
See, I respected that. That's why I never bothered you.
Still
went to the back.
Still possibly true. Finfer, by the way.
Yeah, it's absolutely still possible. But you can follow Billy Zureikat on Instagram at @TheRealBillyZ. And man, this story is unbelievable, and food and your competitiveness and how your world's changed with something called limb girdle. Tell people about kind of where you're at right now.
Sure. So again, thank you guys for having me on and giving me this platform. So I just turned 38, and around the age of 30, after living a very active life where sports is a big deal to me, I played basketball my whole life and obviously worked in sports radio. I noticed weird things happening. Be playing basketball, and all of a sudden I just lose my balance on the court and just fall out of nowhere. And I just chalked it up to I'm just getting old. I'm 30 now. I'm clumsy. Well, as years went on, my legs got weaker and weaker, and I would have frequent falls. And all of a sudden, I can't get up the stairs without a railing. And if I'm sitting down, I need to use my upper body to get up out of a chair. So my life changed. And last year, I was diagnosed with what's called limb girdle muscular dystrophy, and it's a genetic disorder where essentially over the years you'll have a wasting away of your muscles in your lower body, so your hips and quads and calves and such. And during that time, losing sports and losing that creative outlet that I had, I turned to the kitchen and worked on my craft as a home cook and baker. And I say that I turned in my jersey for an apron, essentially.
So you found your voice through cooking, found a creative voice, and have found a fundraising presence, and you obviously have a cause it hits you directly between the eyes. So things have coalesced, and now you're cooking along with several partners, aren't you?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity in November to have a pizza with Paulie G's in Logan Square, one of the best pizzerias in the city. And I created the pizza at home during the pandemic. It was a shishito pepper and corn pizza I called the Trippin' Billy. And I call that because I lose my balance and I fall due to muscular dystrophy.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to have a sense of humor about your own issues.
No, but that just is the essence
it
of.
Is, right?
I don't know you that well, but that's just the essence, right? Or you get dealt this crazy hand that no one in their 30s expects to happen, and you're able to make jokes about it.
Yeah,
that says a lot about you.
I had to, and so Paulie G's donated a couple dollars of each pizza to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. It's the leading non-for-profit that basically researches and helps fund potential cure one day. And they also fund muscular dystrophy clinics, which are not paid by my insurance. They're free because they're paid for by the foundation. So they're helping me, and I'm trying to help others in my position that really don't have a voice or a platform. So I'm doing these collaborations now. The Paulie G's one went really well. We sold 150 pizzas. I started a fundraiser for Muscular Dystrophy Association, and we have raised since November 3,600 to date. And I've started doing pop-ups with different restaurants as well.
So if people want to, the next thing that you're doing, whether it be the sandwich or whatever, what can they do?
So we have a lot of stuff coming up. I have my own personal March Madness. So starting tomorrow at Pizza Friendly Pizza in Ukrainian Village, I will have my Tripping Billy pizza back again Wednesday through Sunday. There'll be slices available and whole pizzas.
Wow.
Portion of the proceeds will go to the MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Next week, next Thursday, the 10th, I have a collaboration with JP Graziano. I'm going to have my own sandwich.
JP Graziano is old school, serious Chicago gangster sandwich joint.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you're partnering with just institutions all over this town.
And then end of the month, I have Tempesta Market. We're doing another sandwich. So yeah, I'm just honestly, I'm trying to get my word out and using helping out restaurants too, because obviously they struggled during the pandemic. I'm trying to bring attention to restaurants, but use their audience as a platform to share my story. Essentially, food helped me reinvent myself. And I'm trying to show people that regardless of if it's a health issue or not, I just want to prove that if you have a loss in your life, you can flip it, do something positive, and help people along the way, and just not dwell on what you lost. Just focus on what you have now.
Whew, it's powerful stuff, man. And we will tweet out the links from our Parkins and Spiegel account to the IG, as you mentioned, Danny, and also the donordrive.com site, which is a spot where people can contribute to what you're doing, which is not, I'm sure, just about your self-care, which is obviously massive, but your goals and aspirations as a fundraiser and your affiliation with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Yeah, I was just named an advocate for the Illinois ambassador for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. So I'm going to start speaking out more about this. This is therapeutic for me. I'm struggling with this. It's not easy. Like I essentially do have a permanent disability now. That's going to get worse as time goes on. I don't know, I'm going to ride this out as long as I can, as long as I can stay active, as far as keeping myself physically active and everything. But, I just want to, I realize I have a voice and I have power to it. And I'm going to use that power to help others in my position that maybe don't have it. I'm essentially trying to become the voice of the voiceless.
It's inspiring stuff. If people do donate on your donor drive page, that money is going towards what causes exactly?
It goes directly to the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and what that will help. Like I said, they do researching to help with clinical trials to hopefully find a cure for muscular dystrophy. They help with ALS, all different forms of muscular dystrophy. They're basically neuromuscular disorders.
Right, and yours is limb girdle, which it's basically waist down, hips down.
Yeah, hips
right?
down. Sometimes it affects the shoulders, but mainly like the waist down. And it's crazy because a lot of people, when you hear muscular dystrophy, people usually think children. It's something you're born with as you're young. Well, not with this version of
adult onset.
Adult onset. So that's the craziest part of this whole thing. It's like I lived my whole life active. Like I get jealous now when I watch people play basketball because I just want to be able to shoot around and I just unfortunately can't. And it's a weird adjustment, but it's not the end of the world. I have the best girl in the world. I have the best friends in the world, the best family. So I have too many people in my corner right now to stop. So I'm just going.
Billy Zureikat is our guest. Follow him on Instagram where he does all of his updates and his cooking and his new collaborations. It's The Real Billy Z on IG. And then the donor drive link is a little too long for me to just say on the air, but we are going to put it out on all of our social platforms so people can check it out there. And you've got all of these collaborations coming up. Was Tanny like a piece of clay who had no idea what he was doing?
No,
would he have been lost without
Tanny,
you? Like thank you for creating him for us.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Tanny is on another level. I knew it from the beginning. Like as an intern, I'm assuming both were interns at some point in your life.
Absolutely.
I was an intern when I started, and I didn't want to just make him go get sandwiches or make people go get sandwiches. I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to teach, and I saw that he already had some experience. And I'm like, you know what? I want to work with him, and we had fun. And like, I think we have the same philosophy. When I was a producer, we're at the other station. My philosophy was, I just want to make myself laugh. If I think it's funny, that one person will laugh with it, and I just want to be an idiot and joke around. Mm-hmm. Tanny did that same thing, and it's awesome watching him. Like, I feel like a proud papa, even though we're, I think, the same age. It's cool watching him grow and just becoming a monster in this business. It's fun.
That's awesome. And Tanny, what'd you learn from watching Billy Z when you're a pup?
Man, when you come into the business like I did without any, I was very raw. Like I didn't know how to carry myself. Didn't really know how to act. Like I felt like I was like an imposter too. Like, cause I come from like the hip hop world. So I'm like in this corporatized sports radio world, which you find out is not that corporate once you get into the programming side. But to have someone there like Billy Z, like I credit like whatever success I have in this industry, I credit to Billy, because when you have someone as welcoming like that, when you first step your foot in the door, who encourages you to just be yourself and be creative, and just help any way that you feel you're helping, like that's such a huge thing. Because I've seen so many times, like I don't know if I always treated interns that way. I tried to, but
it showed you how to be in the business.
Exactly.
Think about what that does for your development and the development of everybody you deal with thereafter.
And that's great advice. I always tell all the producers who I run into, I say, hey, whatever you like, incorporate that into the show. Like, don't do what you think other people may feel you should be doing. Do what makes you laugh, and that's the greatest mantra ever you can live by as a creative person. And I learned a lot of that from Billy Z. So this is awesome.
Thanks, Steve.
And even like we talked about my Cubs World Series montage yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that's like one of my more famous things that I've done. I called him that day, the day after the Cubs won the World Series, because he's like my filter. Like whenever I get stuck on something creatively, I ask Billy, like, well, what would you do here with this? Like, what I need one more thing to finish this off to make it perfect. And Billy, of course, is right there for me with multiple ideas. And I'm always grateful for that he's still there as a resource for me.
Of course,
so.
anytime.
Yep.
I'm always here. And if you need me to, produce overnights or something, I just want to get Uncle Rico. I want to get back in here.
How about 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. today, man? Go ahead.
Yeah. We like you. Not that much. Don't take him away. But seriously, man, your influence on Tanny means anything you ever need from us. It's not even a question. The answer will be yes. The Real Billy Z on Instagram. We will all tweet out the link as soon as the segment is done to the donor drive. And run through it real quick again where people can get the collaborations over the next few weeks.
Pizza Friendly Pizza tomorrow through Sunday. March 10th, JP Graziano. And then it's looking like it's going to be the 25th at Tempesta Market. But just follow me on Instagram. I put everything on there. All collaborations. My donation link, if you want to make a donation at all, it'll all be there. Let's have fun. Let's eat some good food. And let's raise some money and raise some awareness.
Billy Zureikat, the Real Billy Z on Instagram. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you, guys.